Welcome back to Good Day State Line. We have been pretending it's tropical vacation weather here as we celebrate Tropical Vacation Week on GDS, but it's not. It is winter, it is freezing, and it's probably one of the more unhealthy times of the year. So we were wondering how we could boost our immunity during these terribly cold times. We brought in an expert, of course. Dr. Azza Halim is filling us in. Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? So glad to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to talk to you. We're freezing here in Rockford. I mean, it's finally like in the 20s again, but it was negative 11 the other day. So we are trying our best to stay healthy this winter, and I know you have some tips for us.
Yes. So one of the big things that I always emphasize to anyone in any state, because as we know, and as you just said, the weather varies. I'm here in sunny Florida, 70 degrees, but tomorrow I'm traveling to cold New York, which is expecting a huge snowstorm. So one of the big things that I emphasize to everyone is how to stay healthy during cold and flu season, but as well as all year round. So when you're changing temperature and changing weather and altitude, one thing you have to focus on is your humidity level. So even when you're sleeping at night, you definitely want to be able to have some kind of a humidification, because dry air, as we know, is not conducive to healthy airway passages. It also allows you to catch colds and viruses easier. The other thing that I always recommend is hydration, because we definitely have to hydrate really well, because that helps not just detoxify your body, but it helps rejuvenate your cells. And that also helps boost your immune system. Another thing that's one of my go-tos is my vitamin supplements. I tend to load up a lot on vitamin C or anything that's high in vitamin C, as well as my vitamin D3, because even though we live in South Florida and everyone thinks we get plenty of sunshine, we know, and it's been trialed and tested and shown and proven, that even the 10 minutes a day of sun does not elevate your D3 levels as to where it should be for immune support and health.
So are we assuming that most people are vitamin D deficient?
That's actually very good. That's correct. Because the thing is that when I do blood work on people, because I also, in my field of not just aesthetics and surgery, also into functional medicine, is that I look at everyone's labs. And overall, when people say to me, oh, but I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm always in the sun, I look at their D levels and they think that their D levels are right where they should be, because on the regular lab results, you'll see that your normal range is about 30. And everyone thinks that being at 30 is normal. Whereas in the functional medicine side of things, we actually want everybody's D levels to be closer to 60. So 60 to 100 is where the average person should be. Now, sometimes when you're at 100, it may be a little too high for some people, especially worry about renal function. So the 60 to 70 mark is where I like to see my patients, and that's where I actually keep myself as well. As far as 30, I don't find that that's immune sufficient. As I also mentioned, your vitamin C is very key, your vitamin D3. There is also, as far as hydration, making sure you get enough sleep and rest, because that's another thing that we take for granted. When you're not rested, your cortisol levels are elevated. When your cortisol levels are elevated, your immune system becomes suppressed. And people don't realize that they all go hand in hand.
I've been doing better on the sleeping thing because I'm bored and it's freezing and there's nothing else to do. But the other supplements, the other enhancing factors that you're talking about are a little bit more difficult. For vitamin D, you mentioned how important that was. Is that something we should just take in a supplement? Is that like the best way to get it?
Yes. So one of the things that I tell people, because unless somebody's super deficient, which we don't see that low of a low, but some people do, where we actually have to give them IV or IM injections in order to get their D3 levels high up. But normally on the average person, especially if you're taking a multivitamin or you're eating proper nutrition, your D levels are still going to be a little low. So I always tell everyone, and even for myself, I supplement with a supplement. That's a D3. And the average amount that you should be taking is anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 IUs a day. So that's the recommended dosage, even though everyone will say, oh, if you're getting 1,000, you're just fine. Even when I was taking 1,000, I would recheck my blood work like every 3 months. I found that it wasn't sufficient. And it does make a difference in your overall health. Vitamin C, same thing. You need to take a good L-ascorbic acid supplement that's actually more of the liposomal form, so for absorption. That's another thing I recommend to people, because if you just take tablets or pills, they don't absorb. You actually excrete probably a good 75% of it. This is the reason when people, you hear about them saying they get IV therapy, they get high-dose vitamin C, because it goes in through the veins and absorbs more rapidly into your cells. Whereas when you take it orally, it goes through your digestive process, which breaks it down, and you've already lost 3/4 of the actual supplement.
So can you like overdose on vitamin C?
No. So the vitamins that you have to be careful of not to overdose, which we call the fat soluble vitamins, it's going to be and there's a mnemonic for it, the way, from medical school. It's A, D, E, and K. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K are the ones you don't want to overdose because they actually stay in your fat cells and it takes them longer to be metabolized, so you can overdose and get toxicity. This is the reason sometimes when you hear people saying, oh, don't overdo it on your vitamin A levels, that's very true. And sometimes when they do, you can see they have more of that orange tinge to their skin because of the high dose vitamin A. Now, the other vitamins you cannot overdose on just because of the fact that the C gets absorbed and it's water soluble. So the vitamins that are all water soluble, which is the majority, you can take a lot of it, but the difference with vitamin C is if you take anything over 4,000 milligrams, or what we call 4 grams orally, some people can have GI discomfort and they can have diarrhea. So you have to be careful with the oral dose for that purpose, not because you can get toxic. This is the reason that anything over 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams, this is when at that point you start getting more into the IV version as opposed to the oral. Now, the liposomal dosing, if you take a liposomal form, that's more well tolerated, does not cause the diarrhea, and you actually get the benefit of real absorption.
Well, you are clearly a wealth of information, and we super appreciate you taking some time tonight to talk to us. Is there anywhere we can go to get any more information if we need any from you?
Well, if you want any information from me, or people want to be able to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to do any kind of consultations through social media. My Instagram is AZZAMD which is Azza MD Beauty. And in the contact section, there's my email and number that people can always reach out to me through there in the Instagram. And then my website is azzamdbeauty.com. So I'm always happy to help and give any kind of recommendations. And if people want any consultations or want to come see me, I'm located in 3 different states. I have an office actually in Florida, California, and Chicago.
Oh, well, Chicago is not that far from here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, we are making pineapple bourbon lemonade with Amy from the Ark.